Hi, I'm Erika Lee with the Legislative Analyst Office. Welcome to the LAO's webcast on IT procurement. In a recently published report entitled Try Before You Buy, Expanding Multi-Stage Procurements for Large IT Systems, I discuss an alternative approach to the state's traditional procurement for large IT systems. In this webcast, I will briefly highlight some of the important points of this report, which can be accessed via our website. To begin, I'd like to start with the fact that California has many large IT systems. These support a multitude of programs from Medi-Cal to child support to voter registration. They also provide services for state residents like the DMV's online vehicle registration or driver's license renewal. They also provide the technological infrastructure for the state's financial and business processes. These large IT systems can be quite costly, ranging from tens to hundreds of millions of dollars, taking multiple years and a large supply of people to design and build. Now, traditionally, the state has used a procurement approach called the Firm Fixed Price Procurement, or FFP. Under this approach, the state advertises its need for a new system, and any vendor may respond to the request by submitting a written firm fixed price cost proposal. The state evaluates each of these proposals and chooses the one that best meets its criteria. The FFP approach provides a fairly prescriptive process that gives equal footing to all vendors, which helps ensure open competition and reduces the state's exposure to protests and potential lawsuits. Yet blanket use of the FFP approach for all large IT systems sometimes overlooks important differences between system characteristics and program needs. This has sometimes resulted in significant project delays and cost overruns. For this reason, the state is beginning to look at an alternative approach called the MultiStage Procurement for developing its large IT systems. Now, as its name suggests, a multi-stage procurement is a single procurement that's divided into multiple stages. During stage one, the state solicits proposals from vendors, very much like under the FFP approach. However, rather than contract with one vendor, the state evaluates the proposals and procures the services of 2 or 3 vendors. These vendors will then move on to a stage 2, where they will be awarded a lump sum of dollars and compete against each other. This competition, sometimes referred to as a bake-off, requires that each vendor build a smaller version of their proposed solution, called a proof of concept, to prove their understanding of the state's business goals and to convince the state that theirs is actually the best solution. The vendor with the highest score during this bake-off will win the contract to build the entire system. The feature that sets the multi-stage approach apart from the standard FFP is this bake-off stage, where enhanced learning opportunities exist for both the vendor and state staff. Vendors have the opportunity to learn about the state's needs, which should lead to more responsive proposals, and the state has the opportunity to compare vendor capabilities, and importantly, it also has a chance to look at what it might be purchasing before actually buying it, a try-before-you-buy opportunity. Now, given that a well-run procurement can mitigate some of the problems that develop later in system development, I recommend that the legislature carefully consider projects' procurement strategies as it reviews IT proposals. For large IT systems, these strategies would include a consideration for the advantages and disadvantages of using the multi-stage procurement approach. Additionally, to keep the legislature up to date on procurement strategies, I further recommend that state agencies notify the legislature whenever a project's procurement approach or method is modified. The legislature's interest in procurement will encourage projects to consider the best procurement approach early on in the planning phase. Thank you very much.